Welcome everyone to another episode of The Guido Goes Off. As always, I thank you folks for watching. A lot of big news coming out of wrestling this week, so let's go ahead and get started, of course, with perhaps the biggest news coming out this week. News was broke yesterday by PW Insider, and that is that Jeremy Borash, longtime TNA/Impact Wrestling employee, has signed with WWE. For those of you that don't know, Jeremy Borash pretty much worked for TNA Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, when Jarrett was there the second time around, Global Force Wrestling, pretty much since its inception in 2002. And working there, he pretty much did everything there. He worked as a backstage interviewer, worked as a ring announcer, worked as a commentator, also did behind the scenes, doing work as a producer. He produced the Broken Hardy segments for Impact Wrestling. He worked as a booker, he's pretty much done anything and everything that promotion had needed for him to do. Also did work for a while in WCW before it was bought out by WWE and shut down. So you're talking about at least 20 years experience in the professional wrestling industry. So honestly, I know a lot of people are upset about this. A lot of people have unfollowed him because how dare you betray Impact, blah, 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 blah. As we know, they are cutting costs wherever they can. Him being there would have actually been very helpful because that's a lot of money you can save by someone who's basically a Swiss Army knife of non-wrestling roles in wrestling. And so it did come as a big surprise that WWE has signed him. It's being said that Triple H wanted to bring him on to help out with the NXT brand. And like I said, Impact's loss is, in this case, NXT's huge gain because of the fact of all the roles he can fill. And he does them very well. Like, I actually consider Jeremy Borash one of the true Renaissance men in professional wrestling because he does a lot of things and he does them very well. And so, like I said, I agree with the move to hire him. I think it's actually going to be a huge benefit for NXT. Like I said, because of the roles he can fill, which is, like I said, almost everything but wrestling. Okay, he maybe did a couple in-ring spots here and there, but he neither here nor there. But again, so he was in Philadelphia. He did, and I guess their work. I don't know if he's already set to work. My guess is he's already hitting the ground running, doing things for NXT. And like I said, it's actually a good move. I mean, I can understand, leaving Impact, especially if it was a pay issue or what have you. But again, like I said, Impact's loss is going to be NXT's gain, and it is really good to see. It's really going to be good for them to have someone like Jeremy Borash in the fold working with them. Another bit of news today is the leak of the location for next year's WrestleMania, or WrestleMania 35 for those of you keeping track. As we know, Vince hates giving numbers to it because it's, we don't want to make it sound old. Yet the Super Bowl's been doing numbers for now 52. No, wait, I take that back. It wasn't called the Super Bowl until Super Bowl 3. I take that back. Almost 50 years. Not over 50 years, but almost 50 years. Anyway, so going into that, it's been leaked that the location for WrestleMania 35 will be MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Um, into now, this will be the second time if this is the case, which more likely is. This will be the second time MetLife Stadium has hosted WrestleMania. They did host it in 2013, so that would have been WrestleMania 29, if my math is right. I'm going to double check after this. But like I'm saying, now as you know, it's near and dear to WWE to have events in the New York, New Jersey area because WWE the business code for it has always been going to New York, and it's the New York territory. It was always the New York territory, and so as you know, they always like going to always love doing shows in that area. Crowds are usually always very supportive. And so, yeah, I could see the reasons for it. Of course, I can see the reasons against it because of the simple fact it is late March, early April in New England. You could get a nor'easter around that time. You can get, it could be 20 degrees in the stadium at that time. And of course, it's an outdoor venue, so you do take a huge risk. But, it could work out. Of course, rain. Yeah, like I said, it could be a lot of weather there, but again, it's so it was usually it's the location. It's a good location, but I always worry about him having WrestleMania there because, like I said, it's that late March, early April, so weather can and it's an outdoor stadium, so weather can always play a factor, but I'm not in charge of these things. We all know who is.
And as God is my witness, Roman Reigns will be over!
Woof. Woof. Yeah, good luck with the XFL there, Chief. Okay, moving on. With all the things that happened during around the Royal Rumble, one thing that's been discussed also is there was an injury that happened just prior to the Royal Rumble. For those of you that don't know, Alicia Fox was injured during a pre-Rumble workout, where she was tossed over the top rope, and in the process broke her tailbone. She is slated to be out of action for several months. There's unfortunately nothing exact as of yet. Of course, we hope for a speedy recovery for her. Not too speedy. We don't want anyone to come back when they're not ready. Now, this does something else was brought up earlier today. Was the fact that she was involved in the Mixed Match Challenge. Of course, she has not had her match yet. She was supposed to team with Goldust. And I want to say a suitable replacement has been found. But Goldust now has a new partner for the Mixed Match Challenge in the form of NXT's Golden Girl Absolution member Mandy Rose. Yay. But in all seriousness, I'm sure a lot of you know, I actually like watching Alicia Fox. I find her very entertaining, and from what I hear, one of the sweetest people backstage. And so I hope she gets healthy. We get to see her back sooner rather than later. Now, of course, the second $1 million question on everyone's minds this week, besides when is Ronda Rousey showing up, was who was going to be the new general manager of 205 Live. Daniel Bryan had announced last week that they were going to be doing something about the Cruiserweight Championship, because we don't have one. We don't have a Cruiserweight Champion right now, because somebody forgot to tell the cops. Somebody forgot to tell your boss, hey, the cops are looking for me. I don't know why. Something about a party. Anyway, but this week on 205 Live, right off the bat, the general manager of the Cruiserweight division was announced, and it is none other than Drake Maverick. Yeah, who the hell is Drake Maverick? Well, I'll tell you who Drake Maverick is. In fact, they actually talked about it. Drake Maverick actually is the former rock star Spud, as many of us knew. I think it was earlier this year. Actually no, it was late last year. Rockstar Spud announced that he was leaving Impact Wrestling. It was mostly due to mishandled visa issues. And he just wanted to do something else, and so he was reportedly at SmackDown Live a few weeks ago, but he didn't show up on camera. Well, now he is showing up on camera with the new name of Drake Maverick. I'm wondering, of course, a couple of things with this. One, did somebody do that porn name generator and that's what came out? And two, is he going to have an assistant that looks like Anthony Edwards and say, "You're my Ice Goose"? Come on! But anyway, and of course his big announcement after saying, "Hi, I'm here, let's make 205 Live great again," was that there will be that was the start of a 16-man tournament to determine the new Cruiserweight champion, and that this will culminate at WrestleMania. Of course, they did have the first two matches last night. The first being Cedric Alexander defeating Grand Metalik. The second being your boy Mega TJP beating in a highly contested match, winning a highly contested match. Of course, he did do some shenanigans and goings on, perhaps some tomfoolery, and defeated former WWE UK champion Tyler Bate. Now it has been set. Now, we just did set two more matches for next week. I'm sorry, I didn't really pay attention. I know one of them does involve NXT's Roderick Strong, so it will be interesting to see where it goes as far as where this 16-man tournament ends. But of course, it will culminate at WrestleMania. Hopefully, actually on the main card. That would be just nice, because the guys who were part of the Cruiserweight Championship last year at WrestleMania kind of left because they weren't actually on WrestleMania. Didn't even make the DVD. Yeah, because Well, that's going to do it for this episode of The Guido Goes Off. As always, folks, I thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. As I've said before, we are looking to get 100 subscribers before WrestleMania. We need only about a lot to reach that goal. So, if you're watching this and you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. And while you're doing that, please like this video and share it with everyone you know. And of course, if you have anything to say about any of the topics I covered on this episode, feel free to drop a line in the comments section below. And as always, feel free to contact me via my social media. So, until next time, I am the Guido, and I think we're done here.